make sure that we have some sound here. What's up? We have AI coming up here. Oh, there we go. We got some Japanese in the background. Love it. I think, Kieran, you're not coming up for some reason. Your audio isn't on.
Hello, I'm here.
Oh, there you go. There you go. I can hear you.
I've just been being quiet so that everybody can. Yeah.
Sweet. We'll make sure the audio's on here. Okay, cool. Perfect. We should be good to go. How you doing today, Kieran?
Put the music on, Matt. Put the music. It's like quite a.
No, let me turn it off here. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Sorry about that. This is the first live stream in a while. I'm using a whole different setup, so I'm trying to get used to all the controls and everything.
Yeah, and I understand, Mac, this is the first ever Aleph Zero live community live stream event that we're doing.
Yeah.
Right? Is that like a bit of a spurious claim from me?
Hey, no. I think this is the first live stream I've ever seen on YouTube, at least, for Aleph Zero. I've seen a few that have been done, but I don't know. From my side of the world, this is the first one from Japan. So yeah, that's pretty exciting.
Certainly the first one with the Cryptstar and Pangia on it. So this is big news, big milestone. Great stuff going on for the community. Yeah. How have you been anyway? You good?
Yeah, doing good. It's been like a pretty crazy couple weeks trying to get the live streaming set up, and working with YouTube quite a bit recently, and it's just a little bit too much technical stuff going on, but I figured it out, got it all settled, and work's been great, and a lot of things going on Aleph Zero as well, so lots to catch up on there. Basically, my free time is pretty much filled up with just trying to catch up on what's going on in the whole, Aleph Zero ecosystem.
Yeah. Anything particularly exciting you out there at the minute?
I mean, there's quite a few things going on with the announcement. Hopefully later today, with the big what do you call it? One of the first big customers coming to Aleph Zero. Woo! Super exciting. And of course, the launch of Pangia. Lots going on. Well, at least on the testnet, right? It's a beta launch, but it's nice to have a lot of people on there making posts and seeing the content and just kind of getting the word out there that Pangia is alive. There's alternatives out there to Twitter now, as well as YouTube, which we're on now. But
yeah. Well, this is absolutely I mean, we just wanted to say a big shout out to the Aleph Zero team for getting the Vibes system up and running. I think that's a great use case that they've got going on with the with Fame MMA. I think everyone's pretty stoked about that. And that's quite exciting and a great step forward for the team. So well done to Aleph Zero. So that's Matt and Anthony and Magda and Monica and all the guys out there. Really pleased with you getting that done. And obviously Pangia is moving. We're not at TGE yet, but getting the platform out there was a real big thing for us. And I understand that's what you want to talk about today, Mac.
Yeah, I was really curious as to the platform launch and how sort of successful you think it was, and sort of growing pains, as well as some places talk about some places you're really excited about. I think that there was quite a few surprises that you probably didn't see beforehand that kind of popped up, and some were good and some were bad. So just curious to hear about them and hear about your plans for the future as well.
Okay, so how's it gone? Well, it was always going to be in phases, and this is the first phase, and it was really in line with the strategy. So when you come and market a project, there's two ways that you can market it. You can either just do pure hype and airdrops, or you can market the roadmap. We wanted to market the roadmap, but this puts us in a difficult situation where a lot of the things that the tech team have been doing, they're the first people to do it. That's never been done before. They don't have huge libraries. They don't have other people's code to fall back on, which has meant that Pangia has been trying to solve puzzles, and we don't know how long these puzzles are going to take. Now, Lee, who has been very experienced in crypto, he had a kind of strategy in mind from day one, which was that he didn't want to promote anything or make any promises with Pangia until we actually had the cards. So we didn't want to big anything up or make any big announcements about announcements until we actually were holding the cards or had the product. We wanted to be product led, and we wanted to be prove that we could do what we said that we were going to do. So for us, this was really about getting a product out there and showing people what we've been doing for the last 3 years, and that Pangia isn't just another project where it's all hot air and speculation. What's the thing that everybody pulls up? You know, that meme about the drawing of the horse where it's got a really well drawn back of the horse, and it's like early development. Yeah, you know the one, yeah. So we didn't want to be like that. So it's been the first phase MVP. When we were going to launch, we were going to launch like 8 weeks before, and we found with just a little trial audience that just the sign up process was really, really tough. So we had to go back and then redo the sign up process. Obviously, the sign up process only works for people with Polkadot compatible wallets. That's been quite a barrier for the non-Web3 natives and the non-Azero community. But we've done really well. We've got a lot of people on there. And the important thing is that we have enough people on there to test the system and who are giving us feedback. There's a lot of people who've given us some really good feedback. You know, people like Stoney, people like Ryan, who've really got behind the project and let us know what's going on with it. Staking Luke. These guys have got out there and like shown us AG Fields as well. They've shown us what's going on and really helped us out by getting on the platform, using different features and letting us know what they like and what they don't like,
Yeah, for sure. I think that the launch of Panjea was kind of tough at first because, it was behind closed doors. And then after that, once you guys opened up got rid of the VPN, a lot of people were able to jump on. It kind of removed a lot of barriers. And I think, as with all social media and a lot of, platforms, when you're trying to get people at first, the first thing you have to do, is remove all the barriers, as many as you can, to make it as easy for people to get on there as possible. So I think that was really a great choice there.
Yeah, and obviously, as we go further down the line, we're looking forward to really capitalizing on our partnership with Azero ID, who are going to give us like really super simple ways to get people on board that are kind of concurrent with Web 2. And we forget that how well Web 2 has trained people. Like, I go to any website now, I order like a pair of socks off a sports website, and they want my email and password, and like I'm signed up and I've got an account, and they're emailing me with offers. So like literally everywhere we go, during the Euro Cup, I wanted to watch a football match on my smart TV, and it wanted a username and password. Everything wants to.
Yeah.
And we're so used to like generating usernames and passwords and getting in immediately. I think that created a bit of a barrier and a bit of an expectation for when we were getting people on board. And obviously we're like, come on guys, we're still a project that's in its alpha. We're still working around these things. But fortunately, there's been enough people, more than enough, lots of people who've like worked with us, understood our situation, and have got on the platform. It has mainly been crypto people. It's mainly been the Aleph Zero community. So if you're out there and you're still part of Aleph Zero and you haven't tried Pangia, come along, see what all the fuss is about.
Yeah, give it a try, guys. It's looking really good. And I did a couple posts myself. Very intuitive, very easy to use. I think it looks, the UI itself, the UX UI looks really nice. And so I guess we'll go on to the sort of negative things, the things that you guys ran into that maybe you're already planning to fix, but the community has kind of said, hey, we would like these features, could you add them? Or even unforeseen issues that you guys never really expected, but they popped up because you're able to get more eyes on the project.
Okay, well, like what people have wanted, or what we've discovered, is that we thought people were going to engage more. So we've created this content linking system, and it's one of those features that's still in motion and we're still developing. So we thought that people would be interested enough to look below the lid, sort of look under the hood and discover how the content linking system would work, so that they could have discussions, they could start linking, they could start creating relevancy. What we've discovered is that people don't really care about that. They've come in and almost expected it to be a curated algorithmic feed. So even though we've made many, many marketing messages saying it's different, again, that web to expectation kind of gets in there and has kind of how do I put it, tilted and colored the way that our users expect the platform to work. What that means is that we're going to have to go back and look at the way that we create relevancy and make it more intuitive, give people more options, show visually what's going on with the network, be able to say, look, this is what your content is linking to, this is where the links are, how people are adding to your discussion. Start giving them updates in their inbox so that someone has replied, someone's linked to your content, so that they can keep coming back and seeing what kind of engagement they want. What we've always been about is we've always said that Pangia is about community. What we've got is we've got the community tools, but we've got to make those community tools so that they are really just kind of almost like computer gamey. So they kind of like that feel that you can just use them, they're intuitive, you see a response, and you get that instant feedback. So it's not something that you have to look for. The game is there in front of you, and it's almost fun to explore it and see what happens when you do this and you do that. You know, like think back to the first time you ever used social media, or you ever used sites like Insta and Twitter, and like how it was just sort of set up for you to use, and you would instantly get these kind of feedback loops. And we've got to kind of work on getting those in place. We've got the underlying system, we're just executing on it better. And that's really, that goes back to what I say when Pangia was launched in phases. This is still the alpha phase, and it's great that we're finding out what we need to optimize.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. And I think right now, even the extra features that you added to Pangia so far, like the different categorization features, it's like I wasn't sure what it was at first. It's like, how are you supposed to link these together? And commenting also was a bit confusing for me. I wasn't sure how to add comments. You guys don't technically have a comment feature, do you?
So we're gonna talk about that in a minute. I just wanted to say, like, that's obviously the engagement is the thing that people didn't like.
Yeah.
But you touched on it before, which is what people do like, and people have come back and said that they're really impressed by the quality of it. So one of the big points for us was obviously when we went to the Azero ecosystem crew. So we had a chat with Magda and Matt, who they just used it for the first time. They used it about 3-4 weeks before everybody else. And when we heard the ecosystem team, the ecosystem marketing team came back and they said they loved it. It was a really big deal for us. It was like, wow, you know, like they were impressed with the quality of it. Because, you know, we've heard people like Mike at Azero ID tell us that it doesn't feel like a Web3 app. And compared to other Web3 apps out there, we're not like hugely au fait with that many of them, that we look really good. So it's fantastic that that people have responded so well to the UX. I mean, like you said, people have also responded well to the fact that they like getting coins. They like getting coins, even though that they are not real coins and they're still test tokens. Yeah. They just like the whole feel of getting some tokens and seeing what that dollar value is in tokens for their work and their contribution to the Pangia network. Yeah. And they are really, people are really happy to see it. And one of the biggest shifts that's happened with Pangia is that it's almost like having the project and having the product has taken us up a level, like with everybody we talk to and everybody in our network. Yeah. It's like we've gone from being like maybe players to these guys have actually got a product, and like the whole kind of like way that we're being treated, the way, not within Aleph Zero, we've always had a great time within Aleph Zero, but I mean within wider networks, within other networks, in other communities, now we've got that product. It's kind of like elevated our status from being like, do you know what I mean? Could be another punk stroke scammer stroke project that promises the earth and does nothing. So like, oh my God, these guys have got a project. Oh my God, it works. Yeah. And that kind of reception that we've had from the wider world has just been fantastic. It's like cemented us and made us feel like we really are, you know, at the table now. And I can't tell you how much that's changed the lives of the founder team. Like it feels like we've done something, like we're still on the journey, but if we're climbing Everest, it feels like we're at base camp 2 now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely really making a difference and really making a change for the better. I mean, every day I see Twitter kind of going more and more into the crapper. I think YouTube has always done a really good job personally, but at the same time, when you delve deeper into the YouTube algorithm, it's just a money-making machine for YouTube. And, you know, obviously Google has really high salaries and they got to pay those salaries, but it's pretty much, I mean, yeah, it's...
Do you remember Lonely Girl 6 or whatever her name was? Do you remember that?
No. Who's that?
In 2006, yeah, So this is what they say. In 2006, the most watched YouTube video was this thing called Lonely Girl 13 or Lonely Girl 6, and it was like a spoof video of this girl pretending that she had somebody in her house or something, yeah, and she
Yeah.
was freaking out, yeah, and loads of people watched it, and the people who put in their creative talent, yeah, they didn't even get enough money to get a computer, right? But if you were to put $100 just into YouTube stock in 2006, that would be worth 5,500. You would have 55x your money, yeah. So, like, as a financial investor into these platforms, you do really well. But if you invest your creative talent into it, haha, we're just going to use you to sell ad impressions and make money. And like, there, no platforms can get away from it. It's something we've said over and over again as Pangia. Getting boring now, Kieran. You know, you said this too many times. But yeah, you know, you get what I'm saying, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, they sell their advertisements, they sell their AdSense, they sell all their stuff, and basically the way YouTubers make money is they get sponsors, or they get people to make sponsor videos, or they get like permanent sponsors, or I mean, you can also do like the a subscription based or whatever, which costs the actual like subscription or whatever through YouTube, and that they promote that through a lot of different like they're like what's it called? Patreon is another way to do it around YouTube, right? But then if you do it through, they kind of force you to do it through YouTube, through the algorithm, I think. And so that is kind of, I don't know. Everything has to go through YouTube. It's sort of like the Apple tax. It's the Google tax, right? And everything, if you want to use the platform, is taxed by Google. And I think that's good for them. And I think they do have to make money, and they do make a great platform, and they make it really easy to use, and everything is smooth and seamless. But it does. I do feel like there is some. There does need to be some sort of. There does need to be some sort of competition out there, and even in Japan, like there was rumors about Google having the Japanese government forcing Google to break apart or something because they're just getting too big and too powerful. That it's coming to a point where they're basically a monopoly right now on data. So I think it's really good that other companies are coming out there and trying to make new products, especially blockchain based, that are community based. I think the community really needs to get behind these projects and really support them wholeheartedly. And I think Aleph Zero does that. The community does that to an extent, but I think as community members, we can all do a little bit more to help promote these projects that are really trying to get running. And that's why I do a lot of these YouTube videos and do all my Twitter stuff, because I think as a community member, it's my job to go ahead and help these projects, get better and get an audience. So that way we can have the products that we want and the products that we deserve.
Yeah, superb. So speaking about the products we deserve, you touched on something like a few moments ago, which was what were we going to be like bringing next? Yeah. We have heard a lot that people want to comment and that they want more of these engagement features. So we're going to be looking at the first thing that we're going to be doing is looking at those features that are going to bring people together so that we can have that interaction, and they can have that interaction in quick, easy, and very intuitive ways on the platform. Some of the ways that we're going to be doing that is obviously we've just made a new hire. The new hire is going to be working specifically on the UX for the visualizations for the content linking. So you can see where your content is linked. You can see what your content links to. Like there is a content map. So we're going to have a guy who's just working specifically on that. And that's our new hire. So we're really prioritizing that. And that's like a big deal for us. So we'll be making a few more. We'll sort of be teasing that after that. We wanted to announce that on this channel, so that's like a big deal for us.
Sweet.
I think it was like a few people, I think it's AG Fields and a couple of other guys said they just wanted a quick posting. So they liked all the posting options, but like if you just wanted to post in the standard way, they just wanted click and post, fire and forget, like here we go. So we're going to be bringing in that quick posting system so that you can just get on there. Yeah. Comments are coming, right? Like if you want to comment on a seed, we're going to be testing comments. So there's two ways that we kind of think about this. First of all, we'd like comments to be done in a discussion where everybody's linking comments, but we're worried that people are just so used to being able to comment on an article, on a thread, on a seed, that they're just going to want to comment. So we're going to try a comment system and see if people want to comment, and if that's going to improve interaction and be able to get like different kinds of interaction going. And what we're kind of hoping then is that, say for instance, the Azero community, like for instance, the Vibes launch has gone today, that we can have like a big announcement about it on Pangia, and then everybody can come and like let us know what they're thinking, tell us about the NFTs they're minting, you know, all that kind of stuff. We can have a discussion on there and people can coalesce around it. And yeah, I think that's going to be pretty cool. And like one of the things that Luke, our CTO, is really strong on, and that we have to remind people, is that Pangia is not just about the social network. It also has the ability to host apps and games. So like we are going to be bringing on the ability to have apps, games on all kinds of developments like that. That will be available. Yeah. So that's what we're going to that's what we're going to be doing, and we're going to be looking in terms of marketing, trying to bring more music on there. So one of the things that we're hearing a lot at the moment,
nice.
yeah, is that musicians are struggling to get heard. Musicians are struggling to get found. The music industry is very difficult for people to get paid. So there was always this, when Napster first came along, Metallica were very bullish on the fact that musicians wouldn't get paid and the music industry would lose money. The music industry has pretty much recovered to be now making more profits than they ever made prior to streaming. But the people who have suffered are the artists. So artists are no longer making money. And I don't know what it's like in the rest of the world, but in the UK, because of streaming, we saw this huge explosion of festival culture, and people would go out and play gigs. But like, we've kind of got like, there's been so many gigs and so many festivals in the UK that everyone's got fatigue now, and no one goes and sees. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just like another concert. Like, so unless you're Taylor Swift, which has been huge, that kind of stuff has been absolutely huge, or you're the Rolling Stones, then you don't really get the coverage. So we want to be talking to small record labels, small independent artists, and explaining how they can use Pangia as a promotional tool to get more fans, to get more engagement with fans, to get music on there. And so that's going to be something that we're going to be trying. So we've now got the platform up and running. What we really want to be doing is running a lot of experiments with it. Yeah.
Sounds good. That sounds good. So you guys be talking to partners like Upcade or some other like kind of gaming companies, so they can start embedding their games in the Pangia.
We're just going to be talking to everybody. Like we are moving on. Like we have had, I think we've had a couple of early chats, but not actually a meeting with Upcade. But we'd love to talk to those guys. We'll talk to anybody on the Azero community, of course. We're here. We're a member. We love talking to people and hearing what their products have got and their projects have got going on, and we're keen to explore synergy. Like absolutely, all the time. At the moment, the games feature isn't ready, and like I say, we just got to run those tests and see what works. And we obviously don't want to put a huge amount of weight on the games, because like it's a community platform, and it's got to be about getting that community on there and getting the right people on there, and then seeing what they want to develop and responding to what they want to develop. So if they want, you know, like jukebox apps, if they want, you know, something more like, you know,
Like a
Heroes
radio?
of Might and Magic. Yeah, like, well, yeah, what would they want? You know, like Farmville style games, Clash of Clans style games. What do they want? Like, you know, they may not want those kind of things. So it's keeping it community led, and so we've got to get that community engagement. And the really important thing that we do is that we make our current community feel very, 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 very supported, and that we listen to them,
Yeah.
and we make sure that we are building so that we find those people who love what we're doing at Pangia, and we love what they're doing for us, and we kind of get that relationship with them where they're helping us shape the community, because there's nothing more important to us. I mean, obviously the project is hugely important, but the most important thing is the customers, is the people who are coming, the communities. Yeah, it's the people we're building this for. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very important, and I think this music thing you have going as this idea you have is really good. I I'm always having trouble like trying to get good music for background music for my YouTube videos, and Yuki, she's like smacking her face. I don't know what that is. Anyways, she's so basically the background music for YouTube videos like reserving trying to get like we call it copyright free background music for YouTube videos or content creation is pretty tough now, and it's and a lot of companies they charge a big middleman fee for that, and it's nice if you could just have like a direct fee with the artist or something for just simple background music, something that I can use every day, but I don't have to worry about the artist like doing a claim on, then I basically lose monetization for the whole YouTube video or something. I think I've been pushing that. Like I've been talking about that on YouTube for a bit now, but I think that's something that the blockchain can really help out content creators by getting them the sort of media kits and music and everything that they need through the blockchain, and then the contracts can be done through smart contracts, and then both the artists can find a broader audience, and so and they could lower the prices for the content creators, which means more content creation and more more basically more competition overall, which should hopefully lead to better quality as well.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah.
So, did we talk about the unforeseen issues yet? That was one topic we did want to talk
Yeah, yeah,
about.
yeah. I mean, the main unforeseen issues is just about the engagement.
The
So
engagement,
that
yeah.
was what we talked about, the engagement, and like we expected people to we expected people to be able to understand what was going under the hood, even as we'd explained it many times. But yeah, what like that's the part where we have to realize that the platform needs to be more intuitive. So yeah,
Yeah. It's definitely not
yeah,
the most
yeah,
intuitive platform, especially like actually like you mentioned earlier, like trying to click through all the different pages to make a post. That was a bit confusing
yeah.
for me. And a lot of the lingo isn't like normal lingo I would see on Facebook. It was kind of like blockchain oriented. I felt like, and so I was like, oh crap, I don't. What does that mean? Like a seed and stuff like that. Like those kind of.
Well, so like when we came up with it, like we came up with these beautiful ideas of seeds and trees and
Yeah.
branches and networks, and like to us, because we kind of fell in love with our project, like it all seemed so obvious.
Yeah.
But like it's got to be in the DNA of the project. So it's got to be in the product, so that when people come and use the product, they don't have to ask what a seed is. They're like, oh, that's a seed. I get why it's called a seed. It's called a seed because it's got loads of branches growing out of it. Oh, that's a tree. I see why it's called a tree because it's got loads of like, and they can see from the structure and the visualization of the information how these things are fitting together. So like when those terms become intuitive, when we allow the people who the community to see what we're doing. At the moment, we've kind of like it's how it works in the background, but we're not explicit enough in making that part of the UX and part of the design and how the product fits together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need like an infographic video or something that shows all that stuff, I think.
Oh, man, the list of stuff that we need, Mac, is just ever growing. Yeah, like we have a big one. I mean, with all projects, the biggest thing is that things that we think are going to work and that we've got covered, we end up going
Yeah.
back to two or three times work because they didn't work as we thought they'd work. And that's the biggest thing, that like you think that you've got something nailed, you think that you think you've got it like absolutely sorted out, and then you go back and you have to change it and change it again, and then people use it, and yeah, like with our wallet sign up process, everybody's like, "Where's my email? Where's my email?" And we're like, we've just got like we're responding to the emails manually, but because people are so used to automated sign up systems, yeah, where's my email? Yeah, yeah, but that's what it's like running a project, is getting it started and getting things moving. Yeah, it's tough out there.
For sure, for sure. And so what? Let me see. Let's go on to the next few questions here. And I was kind of curious. What are the next features that you're planning to offer? I think you covered a few, but
Yeah.
I think you did. You ever cover the thumbnails? I remember you were talking about that in our discussion the other day. Whatever came of that? Did anything come of it, or?
I believe that the team are rebuilding the thumbnails at the moment, like
Oh,
how the
okay.
thumbnails appear on the page. So that is definitely on the list and part of the engagement feature, so that you can see what posts are available and what the latest posts are. And obviously those thumbnails need to come in to a post to show you what posts are linked to it. So the thumbnails and the images and those kind of lead-in images into the content are going to be a key part of that visualization system that we're talking about. Like how, if we're going to display the kind of structure and skeleton of the links that relate to each other, then in order to do that, we really need those thumbnails and those representations to be crystal clear.
Yeah, they only need the pretty pictures, man.
Yeah, and maybe maybe as we go further down the line, there'll be other ways that we're going to experiment with visualizations of what content is. So that's much further down the line. That's like a day 3 or day 4 situation. Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
And what are your long-term plans for the project now that you kind of figured out what's working, what isn't working, at least a little bit, I guess. Probably barely hit the tip of the iceberg, I'm guessing. But what is your long-term plans now? I guess you talked about the main goals you were wanting to focus on from now on, like this short-term goals. And then have any of your long-term goals for the project changed at all since you?
Ideally, we'd like to be at the Genesis event, or the launch event, like sometime around Christmas. So that's
Aww.
that's like what we're aiming for. That'd be absolutely great if we could get there. It's like I say, it's very difficult to predict what timescales will work and what timescales won't work. But that's
for sure.
What we're doing is we want to bring those. We really want to get the visualizations working. We want to get the visualizations working, the apps working, the systems of engagement. We need to start experimenting with the music community. There may be wider plans to experiment with the news community. We want to see who we can start bringing on board and getting to use the platform and then launching. But it's a tough market out there at the moment, and it's not much confidence in anything. Even AI has taken a bit of a beating recently. So yeah, but that, the world makes for no man, and there's never a perfect time. And yeah, we think Pangia is a great product.
Yeah, you just got to keep pressing on, and eventually something will hit, right? So that's just the way the world works, I guess.
Yeah. So I think we're coming to the end of this now, Mac. This has been pretty good talking to you today. Yeah. What I would like to do is just say shout out to the Azero crew, everybody who's been on Pangia, everybody who's helping make it work. Also a shout out to the 2112 guys who've been giving us a lot of help with marketing stuff on LinkedIn. They've been really invaluable over the last 12 months. Henry and Cam, crew there, they've been super good to us. And if you haven't been on Pangia, I'm going to be posting up a link to LinkedIn and one on X or Twitter, as I still prefer to call it, in the next sort of hour, where you can get on to Pangia and try it. So, really, the last piece of thanks I've got to give out to you is to you, Mac, who has supported the project since day one. So it's a real honor and a pleasure to be on this, the first Aleph Zero live stream, community live stream. Yeah. Breaking new barriers, boldly going across new frontiers. And yeah, let's just keep going. Let's just keep going, man. You're right. Something good's going to happen. And we like to think that success is a ramp, but the truth of the matter is success comes very, very slowly and then all at once. And that's how things happen. And just never know where you'll be tomorrow. And this Pangia launch has been it's changed my life. It's totally changed my life. It's been absolutely brilliant. And
it's a good learning experience too. So yeah. Well, thanks, man. Yeah, if you guys haven't already, make sure you follow Pangia. I'll leave a link in the description to the video. And thank you guys for watching. And thanks for joining. Later, Kieran.
Hello, are you still there? Yeah, is that done? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, was that good?
There we go. It was good, and then it just flipped back. Just a second. There we go.
Yeah, nice. What is this?